Hi there! I'm very excited to share with you my fully converted van that I built with zero building experience, and I only watch YouTube to help me. Come and take a look. So full disclosure, when I purchased the van, it was already partially converted, and the things that I did not do are the solar panels. It was already installed, and the two bars on top that holds the basket, and it also came with electrical wirings, the gel battery inverter. In addition to that, the van also came with that ladder that I can use to go up on top of the roof. I did not do that. That came with the van. So starting from outside, it came already with the max air fan that you can see up there on top. Also, I added a lights right there. That one is a motion sensor light, and I like that it's that way because I didn't have to add any wiring to it, and it's pretty inexpensive. I also added one on the back of the van, the one that has a double door. Now let me show you the front cabin. So it's pretty basic. I didn't do any upgrade. It came with the factory installed radio. The van has some kind of sensor when you're backing, but there's no camera to it. But I know that's something that I'd like to add later on. And as you can see, in between the driver's and the passenger side, I have the refrigerator. I actually like that I put the refrigerator on this side because I access the drinks from my seat while I'm driving. So it's pretty convenient, and I like it like this. Now let me show you inside. So this is where my faucet is and my water system. And as you can see, here I installed a door. This one is for me to be able to access my gray water and my fresh water quickly without having to go inside. Also over here, I have my water pump that helps me get the water. So for my water pump, in order for me to minimize the vibration, I got a piece of plywood and then I glued a cork board on top of it, and that's where I installed the pump, and that solves it for me. And before I forgot, on this door over here in the corner, I added a D ring, and the reason for that is in the beginning, every time I have to open this door to put something in, I would usually use my own head to hold it, and sometimes it's just too inconvenient. So this is what my solution is. So I got this small bungee cord that has these two hooks on both ends basically, and I put one of the hook on this side on the D-ring, and then the other one goes up on the door over there, and that's pretty convenient. I don't have to use my head anymore to hold the door open. And over here I use the same system, the bungee cord, to hold my paper towel. I added this 3 little galvanized metal pot holder, and this sign right here I found from the dollar store. I know where it's supposed to go in my van as soon as I saw it. And then on this door, I decided to put a whiteboard material over here. So my thing is, if I have to go somewhere and I need to remember something, I can write on it. So I thought it was a double purpose, and I'm really happy with it. Another thing that I added in the van is this table that is trigger mounted. So it opens like that. Eventually I wanted to put a swivel mechanism for the passenger seat, but right now I'm still not comfortable with it because from what I've read and from the videos that I've seen, I have to deal with the airbag system, and to be honest, I'm not comfortable with that just yet. But once I have the swivel for this chair can then turn around, and this could be like a table where you can work, or you can eat, something like that. And it's very easy to undo. There's just two little trigger mount right here, and that's how it goes. Another thing that I decided to add to this van, and I know I wanted to put it on before I even started the construction, is this oven slash stove. So right here, I have this piece of cloth right here, just kind of helps with the vibration or the noise. And that's the stove right here. Usually the way I do it, I would take that little top off, and this one goes right here. And I have these pins to secure it, but I put it here for now. And then I put this thing back in. It's easy because there's like a little hole where, you know, those little pin is supposed to go down to keep it secure when you're cooking. So that I love this idea because I know some people are talking about putting heater in their van. Well, for me, I'm mostly here in San Diego, so you know, I don't really think about the heater so much, but I'm also aware that once I start traveling, I'm going to be going to places that has a different weather than San Diego. And instead of having a heater, this is my idea. You can make fun of me or whatnot, but in my head, I want the stove. So in case it gets really cold, I'm going to get some of those frozen cookie doughs. I'm gonna bake cookies. It will make the van really warm. It will make the van smells really good. And I have some cookies to enjoy. So that's what my thinking is. Over here, I could also access the refrigerator, and now you can see it is secured by a bungee cord. Once I don't have this bungee cord, I could actually pull it in and out right now. So underneath this cabinet, I have a bunch of pans that fits perfectly in my oven. I also have a couple of lighters. I have some nesting pots in here, and I also have two other pots in here, as well as full-size pans, and they all fit in here. Most of the time, this is also where I store one of those green little propane tank, but right now I don't have it here. I have it underneath the seat just because I'm not using it. This is how I cook right now. I have this, and then I get this connected, and right now it's sufficient for me. I don't really cook a whole lot just yet. This little tank fits underneath the stove. So this is my sink, and I also added this little rubber drying rack so it doesn't go anywhere. This sink, I got this from IKEA, so it's a pretty good size. It's the perfect size actually that I was looking for, deep enough, and it was just the right size for this space that I wanted. And then underneath this sink, I have this double latch thing to secure the door. Also, I added some magnetics to hold it. So both doors have this one, and it's a magnetic closing mechanism. I have that, and I have my trash here also, as well as my chopping board. That's where I put that. So right beside where the sink is where I housed all my electrical stuff. So this little thing over here is the monitor that tells me how much battery I'm generating from up on top of the roof with the solar panels. It also tells me how much I'm consuming, and it also tells me the temperature of the battery. Now this one I installed. Most of the little switches are just dummy switches, but right now what I have live at least is the light and the water pump. And then inside here is where I have the gel battery, also the fuse boxes, and I have a 3000 watt inverter. And right here I have some extension cords. One of them goes in the front, and that powers the refrigerator. And then the other extension cord, I have 3 outlets that are out over here where I plug my lights, and I also use it to power my oil diffuser. I also installed this light right here, so at night when I have to open this, it's not too dark because this motion sensor light is activated at night whenever I open this door, but I hardly ever do. Now this cabinet right here, I have a basket in here. Right now I have some of my electronics and some other little gadgets that I have. I keep it in here and it goes all the way in, and then this stuff goes in here. Now underneath this cabinet I have another box of organizer right here, but right now it's empty because I actually have a trip coming up. Now over on this side, as you can see, I have my oil diffuser. I also have my karaoke microphone in here. This is the back of the van, and as you can see, I have this spacious sitting area. Underneath this seat we have a storage, and let me show you what I have here. Oh, by the way, I have a van that has a lot of windows, and in order for me to save money, I actually got a roll of the Reflectix. I got a big roll of this Reflectix from Home Depot, and then I got a big cardboard and made a template for all my windows, and I cut all this Reflectix to size. And then on the other side of it, which is the one that's facing the window, I added this dark fabric. I got that idea from one other van lifers from YouTube. And once this is against the window, it makes the window look so blacked out. If you just leave this outside or like this and it's facing the window, you can tell it's a Reflectix. But with this one, it makes a whole lot of difference. Once it's against the window and you're looking from the outside in, it looks so dark out. So this is a great idea. And I keep it underneath the seat wherever they're going. So this one is supposed to go to this window, so I keep them in here. Again, let's look underneath the seat. So this one opens, and I have this little piece of wood to hold the door propped open for me. And underneath this seat is where I hide all the pieces for my lagoon mount. Again, to prop it open, well, right now the foam is holding it, but usually I use this little piece of wood to hold it up, and that's how I get around and grab stuff from underneath this one. Now on the other side. Now on this side, oh, and by the way, for the cushions, when I was shopping for fabric, I noticed that the fabric were so expensive wherever I go, and if I find a cheaper one, it's usually very plain also, and I can tell the quality is cheap as well. So this covers that I used, this is actually a curtain, and I find that it's much cheaper. So for the fabrics, they're usually about $10 a yard for the kind of pattern that I want. This one, I paid less than $20 for a double pane curtain, and it was more than enough for me to make my covers. So this one goes here, fold it up. Again, this one opens, and I have this piece of wood that I put right here. Over here is where I have my rice cooker. Then I have some inflatable stand-up paddle board. I do have this electric pump for it, and this one, like I said, I can plug it right here, and you know, this is here. Just really a bunch of little things that I don't need just yet, but you know, eventually I'm gonna need most of it, and this is where I store it. And for now, every time I would go on a trip, whether it's, you know, like a day or more than a day, I usually look in my van. I try to check what I need and take what I don't need for that trip. This is the storage. And this is how I close it. I have this little lamp from IKEA. I like it because I can move it around anywhere in the van, because it's just a matter of clipping it somewhere. And the way I get my power outlet here, I put an extension cord inside. I plugged it in on the inverter, and then I run it over and around the seat, and it gave me this little extension here, and whenever I don't use it, I just unplug everything. And right now I have it secured using this little stuff to hold the cord, so it runs around the bed and it's underneath all the cushions. So right now I wanted to show you how I turn this whole area into a seating plus table. So whenever I'm not using it, whenever I have this set up just as a sitting area, this piece that goes in the middle, and I put it behind the driver's seat, and this is where I usually house it or hold it. Now let me show you how I turn or I put the table setup. So this first piece of the Lagoon mount, I have this little frame that I've installed over here on the side. And then this one, this piece goes over here. Okay, there you go. And then this piece goes over here. And then underneath the table, I have the other piece for the Lagoon mount. And this is what goes up on top. Now I have a table. But one thing I love about the Lagoon mount is it allows me to move the table around. Like I said, I could be sitting here with my laptop with this window open, and then imagine I'm in a pretty place and the wind is blowing and I'm here. Or I could be sitting here also eating, or I could have a friend over and both of us can see on each direction and somebody else over here. And this is how, I have it designed with table. Now let me show you how I turn this into a bed.
So first, of course, I need to remove this part. Okay, I'll put it right here for now for safety. And then I just remove this. And then I store them back inside underneath the seat. I have to move myself on the other side. But this piece of wood goes in this little space. That goes there. And then this piece that was the backrest goes right here. And so is this piece on the other side. It goes over here. And now I have a bed.
It's actually pretty good size. I can lay on it. I'm actually tired. Now, one of the challenges that I have came across when I'm building this van is this corners right here. Because it wasn't flat, it was an angle, I had such a difficult time finishing it. And it's one of those part of this van that was done last, aside from the mount. But also over here, I got this little curtain rod from IKEA, pretty inexpensive. And then the hooks also, I also got this little lace curtain from over there, and I love it. Now that I'm facing here, I realize I missed something. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I have on that side to keep my privacy. This is actually a tension rod. Usually we use this I guess for shower curtains. And then these are blackout curtains that I purchased from Costco, and the way I cut it was a little different. So here it's just a smaller one, and then the other side is the bigger part. And because I have this gap over here, I just made this little piece up on top bigger, and that gives me the dark out that I needed. And this is what I do when I'm sleeping in the van. Now I need to show you the garage. So this is the garage. Let me show you what I have over here. So on this side is where I store my folding chairs. I also have a folding camping table, and what else do I have here? This Noco. So This one will allow me to plug my van if to shore power if I'm parked somewhere and they have power outlet. And in the beginning I thought I don't need it, but then I was watching some YouTube videos of other van lifers, just in case you go in an area where they don't get a whole lot of sun and for some reason you run out of juice in your battery or you know you just don't have enough power. You can go to a camping spot where you can plug in your van and plug everything and charge everything. So I got this one, but I haven't installed it just yet because I'm really scared to poke a hole on the side of the van, and I think I need to do more research before I would feel comfortable doing it, but it's here. And on the other side, I have a lot of my electrical supply thing, and some of this I'm going to keep in the van. When I was actually working on the electrical stuff, because I have to move the electrical stuff from the driver's seat to this side, I had to change it. I had to ask for help, and then he thought when I asked for help I want him to do all the connection, because I have to disconnect everything and then reconnect everything in order for me to move it from the left hand side to the right hand side of the van. But I told him, no, I want you to show me, I want you to tell me what to do and let me do it, because if I have any issues with my electrical stuff, chances are you wouldn't be there to do it for me. So I'd like to know. So that's exactly what he did. He was telling me what to do, but it did the trick. And then also, this is a portable projector, so when I'm traveling somewhere and I wanted to watch something, I could actually have a little movie night by myself using this. So that. Another thing that I have in the van, this is a Filipino thing. If you know what this is and you are Filipino, leave me a comment. I know you know what this is. And then this is another storage. Right now I have a bunch of things that if I want to start traveling distance, it's not going to be here. But like right now, like I said, I'm still traveling short distances, and it just holds few things. Some of them are necessary, some of them aren't. So I have these bands for me to work out when I'm traveling. I also have an electric heated blanket. So since I don't have a heater in my van, and in the event that I don't feel like baking, I at least have an electric heated blanket with me, so that should cover it. I hope you enjoyed the van tour. This is it. If there's anything that you see that you're interested, I will put a link on the description below. If you have any question, please leave me a comment. And if you think this channel is for you, or if you know somebody, please like, subscribe, and share this video. For now, you guys take care. Bye.